I'm going to be showing you how to get the brand new Redline 300 car for completely free on a Dusty trip. Let's get right into this. So the Redline 300 car is actually this car all the way down here, which it kind of looks similar to the Juno car, but it is a bit longer and we can actually get it for completely free. So anyway, we have it equipped. Also, by the way, I am currently on the test server. That doesn't really change anything, but just keep that in mind. Anyway, to get this car, what you want to do is go over to the desert map. We're now in the game and what you want to do is just go ahead and build your car. So I built the new one right here, which I actually haven't tested it at all yet. So let's see if it's any good. So this is the car that we get by completing the quest, which we'll take a closer look at it after we complete the quest and we'll test on the plains map. But anyway, what we want to do is we want to drive down to like 5.8 thousand meters because what we're looking for is a junkyard. And then at the junkyard, we're going to have to collect car parts and then bring them over to a car and assemble it. We're now getting pretty close to the first landmark, which I believe is at 5.8 thousand meters. And so far, this car seems kind of decent. It looks like it maxes out at 260 kilometers per hour, which isn't anything too crazy, but it's also not as bad as some of the other cars. Anyway, I believe this is one of our stops right here, which it doesn't really look like much. It's just a little small garage. But what we want to do is we want to grab all the car parts, such as this one right here. So this is the hood of the car. So we want to take this and we just want to attach it to the top. And then I'm not sure if we're going to need this, but we might as well take it, which is the engine. So let's go and attach that. And then we probably want to take this as well. Let's also go ahead and grab the wheel because I think this is one of the wheels we need. And yeah, comparing it is, so let's make sure we attach that. And it looks like there's no other car parts. So let's make sure we do grab some food just to make sure we don't die. But anyway, it looks like that's pretty much everything. So now once we have everything attached to our car, we just want to keep driving. So anyway, there's two more stops that we need to make. I believe the next one is at 7,000 meters. And it should just be another garage just like this one, where we have to collect car parts and attach them to our car. And then I believe there's another one after that at 7.8 thousand meters, where we actually have to assemble the car using all of these parts. So this is my first time doing this quest, so I'm not sure how many parts we're gonna need. So for this, I'm just gonna grab every single part that I see, but once we get there, we can check it out, and maybe we didn't need all of these parts. We now made it to 7,000 meters, so here's one of the other checkpoints, and here's the car. So I believe we're actually gonna have to drive down to 7.8 thousand meters, grab some parts, and then drive them all the way back. But anyway, for this car, let's go and grab some of these other parts, and here it is right here. So let's just go ahead and start assembling it, and let's make sure we attach every single thing. And then I believe all this other stuff isn't parts for it. There is this door right here, but it's actually not the right one, so we'll just leave that behind. And actually, I wonder if we can take parts from our car and put it on this one, because since I already have the car, I wonder if I can take the door and then if I can attach it on this one right here. And no, it looks like I can't, so it does have to be the correct part. But anyway, it looks like I also don't need this piece right here, so I can just leave that behind. Anyway, we still need a few more parts. So what we're going to do is we're going to drive down to the next checkpoint, grab the parts, and then we're going to bring them back. So I believe it's at 7.8 thousand meters. So we'll just drive all the way down there. We now made it to 7.8 thousand meters. So let's go and stop right here. And here is the junkyard, which let's actually go and drive in there because there's probably going to be multiple parts that we need to grab. So just make it a tad bit easier. There we go. And now let's go and grab all the parts we need. So we don't need all of them, like this one right here that doesn't match the car, so we probably don't need that. And dang, this is a shiny apple. And oh, that's actually one of the new items that make us faster. Well, that's pretty nice. But anyway, let's look around for any of the parts that we need. And actually, here's one of the wheels right here. So let's grab this, and oh, there's the door that we need. So there we go. Now let's grab the door, and I think that's everything. But I'm gonna double check just to make sure. And oh, we actually need to grab this. So yeah, that would have been bad because I believe we need every single part to actually build this car just so it appears in our garage. And I believe that's everything. So let's go and hop back in our car and drive back down to 7,000 meters. And let's go ahead and finish this car. We now have all the parts and we made it back to 7,000 meters. So let's go and stop the car real quick. Also, I found out that you can actually use any engine and radiator for this car. The only thing that matters is the correct wheels and panels for it. So we need the correct wheels, doors, hood, and all of that stuff. But for the engine and radiator, it doesn't matter which ones we have in there. So we don't need to worry about that. Anyway, let's go and grab this. This should be the last piece unless it wants a radiator in there. So there we go. Yep, it looks like it does need one. So let's go and open that up and let's just grab our radiator from this car. And then once we put this in, we should unlock it. And yep, down at the bottom, it says that we now have access to it. So that is how we get this car. So it is much different from the other ones. But anyway, once again, all you need is the wheels, the doors, and also the hood and trunk door as well. And then you can use any engine and radiator. So you can just grab it from whichever car you're driving, toss them in, and then then you should be good. So there doesn't have to be like a special radiator or anything. But anyway, let's see if we can now drive it. And yes, it looks like we actually can. Well, anyway, I'm pretty sure we are able to drive it, but we actually have no gas. So we would need to bring a gas canister with us. But anyway, that's pretty cool that we can actually build it in the game. So we don't even have to restart the game to drive it for the first time. But anyway, that's how you go ahead and unlock this car. And once you go and place everything in it, you'll get the message at the bottom saying that you'll now have access to it in the garage. So you no longer have to build in game. But anyway, once again, just for a summary, drive down to 5.8 thousand meters, grab some of the parts, drive down to 7,000 meters, drop them off. And also there will be more parts in here as well. Then drive down to 7.8 thousand meters to the junkyard, grab some more parts, then drive back down to 7,000 meters, attach them, and then you should be good to go. Anyway, let's go and check the stats on this car currently. So 5.2 liters of gas and then 3.2 liters of oil. I think that's decent. I mean, we have been driving quite a bit. So anyway, let's just go ahead and restart this run and let's go ahead and test on the plains map just so we can like measure all the stats. We're now on the plains map and we fully built our car. So let's hop in and let's test it out. So I believe it will be the same speed as on the plains map where it was like 260, but at least now we'll go ahead and be able to see how much like gas and stuff it uses. So we'll be able to compare it to other cars. Because on the last map, we stopped at some of the locations while leaving like the engine on, so that'll probably use some gas. And then of course we kind of drove backwards as well. But anyway, I don't really know what's up with the car right now, but it looks like we're definitely not going as fast. So I'm not really too sure why. But I believe whenever it releases to the main game, we will go 260 kilometers per hour on this map, similar to how we were on the other one. So I'm not too sure why it's not going the same speed right now. And dang, it just actually got hit by the airplane. Anyway, let's go and check the current stats though. So 8.5, it is a little bit worse than other cars, but it's not that bad. 4.9 and then 3.9. So overall, I would say this car is pretty good. And also the speed is decent. It's not very fast, but it's definitely not as slow as some of the other cars we looked at. So I would definitely say that this car right here is definitely worth getting, especially since it only takes like 20 minutes to get. But anyway, that's how you go ahead and get the brand new Redline 300 car on a dusty trip though. So that's gonna be all for this video. So make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications, and I will see you all in the next video.